Let's prepare for the week ahead, and the best way to prepare is to know what's going to happen before it happens. So I'm running a bit late with this video today, but better late than never. So let's do Bitcoin this week, and let's see how that's going to pan out. So first of all, what you do is you get to your CycleEdge reports. Let's open up in the members area. Okay, this is where it's at. So we've got CycleEdge report for all of them. We're just going to do Bitcoin for this week. I pick one of these every week, so let's check it out. So in the weekly insight, we have Tuesday, and then we have Thursday, Friday to look out for. But you can see Tuesday is the better option, and that could lead us into Thursday, Friday. So we'll see how that pans out. What are we to expect? Let's take a look. So turn window Sunday 16th of August to Tuesday 18th of August. So Sunday was yesterday, that's Sunday here, so we could be pushing down. Let's take a look into Tuesday. Expect a market turn or shift at either boundary. So we're going to be looking at Tuesday 18th of August. We're going to be looking for a shift or turn in the market. Cycle builds 2 days plus 8 more cycles converging. So that's going to be important for us. Confirm direction with price action as usual, and expect an intra-week short-term swing. Okay, so we're probably going to have a retracement, something like intra-week. So if we start on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, it should be like for the rest of that week. And for Thursday, Friday, we have a turning window, so Wednesday through the 20th of August. So you can see that came all the way from Wednesday, the 5th of August. So expect a market turn shift at either boundary. So let's take a look at what happened on the 5th of August. Let's see. That is the 6th of August. And that's the 5th of August, right? So market came to this zone and didn't really close above that, did it? Might have. That's the high that it did. So it did close slightly above it, but then the market went down. And last week, as you know, we had Monday, Tuesday going all the way into Thursday, okay? And I think that was how it was, right? Came all the way into there, and that's it. So let's get back, and let's also read the macro events here because this is going to be important. So major long cycle event window opens on Thursday, peak on a Tuesday, 1st of September. So this Thursday is also going to be important. Maybe we'll have a Tuesday low, Thursday retest with a divergence making a lower price and then taking off. So that's also an option. Macro events Sunday, we've already checked. Vertical crest pinpoints swing highs and lows. So on on Sunday, that's that there. I'll just get rid of that. Let's do this. By the way, the software pack is already done. I'll do a video on that as well later. So that was Sunday the 16th, market coming down. Now here's something's important. We'll take a look at that technically as well in a minute. Sunday. Now we've got Wednesday. Intraday cycle enters extreme range. Emotional extremes. Price overshoots standard projections. So here you have to be really looking out for blow off tops, liquidations, stop sweeps. Okay. That snap back once inbounds. Short horizon 1 to 3 day pivot. So this Tuesday could do a turnaround. Wednesday making stop sweeps, blow offs. This is something you want to be looking out for on Wednesday, and then that could take us all the way into again Thursday, Friday. So that's the window of opportunity that we have, and that's basically it. All right, so let's get into now Tuesday. Let's see what's going to happen on a Tuesday. If I come back here, this is Friday. Let's do this. Monday. All right, so Monday's high tension critical. It's a shock day Monday, so be mindful for this one. shock day. That could lead to a breakout, okay, a breakout of this level. So we're going to have a shock day, and if it goes down, let's see how the TSM is holding out. TSM level is there. That's the new bar. All right, so if I make this a little bigger, that's the new bar over here. Okay, so if the market comes down, we know where to come down to. All right, so knowing it's a shock day today is not a bad thing. But let's take a look at those trade days. Tuesday, exhaustion blow off. So this is a time period where we can take into account. So we've got another shock day. So Monday, Tuesday, we've got shock days, and these are going to be the hours. Obviously, you need to check your weekly market timing, the general hours here as well. Let me just refresh that, because I took 10th of August out. That's last week. That's now in the archives. So now all you have to do is take a look at that one. All right, for the 17th. So let's get back to Bitcoin. And then we've got Wednesday. Wednesday is going to be a flow day. So vector day. So we've got shock, flow, low friction, moves run cleanly. So knowing this in advance is just good to know. Any direction that has clarity will give you an opportunity to get into the game on the retracement. So look out for Monday and Tuesday, with Wednesday spikes happening, stop sweeps. Why did I say Monday as well? Because it's a shock day. All right. So knowing this in advance is obviously useful for us, and obviously having these alert windows for today is going to be helpful. So once that happens, we can follow through on Wednesday, and on Thursday, vector day flow, low friction, move runs clearly. So once that low or bottom is caught, we can just flow through with that on the Wednesday, Thursday, and possibly Friday. Correct. Okay. Once again, once we have direction, we can just follow that through. And on Saturday, because the markets are open on Saturday as well, another flow routine neutral baseline. So that might be a sideways market for us. And that's it. All right. So look out for Tuesday, and with Wednesdays having stop sweeps, blow offs. And then if we catch direction, if we have a clear direction, we should just follow that direction all the way through. Let's take a look at it technically as well, using the TSM. Now on the monthly, as you can see, we're a bit in the middle of nowhere with respect to TSM, which is fine. On the weekly though, we're in a sideways market after an impulse. Now the support on the price is here, and on the TSM, if I make this a little bigger, can I make this? No, I can't make that any bigger. So what I can do is this. What I will do is do a 1-2, which is that and that. You can see the market here is at a price level. Let me just do this. That new weekly is right there. Okay, and that's the high, that's the low. So that 38.40 line here is 63.651. So I'm going to put 63.651 right here, and it's pretty much bounced off it, as you can see. All right, so this is where the market bounced off. So what I want to make sure is, if this level zone, if this zone breaks down, obviously we're going down. All right, so knowing that in advance obviously is going to help us out. Anything that breaks this monthly opening range as well is going to be bad. All right, So that could be leading us to shock day. So Monday, Tuesday, remember, shock days. So that's it. If the market breaks to the upside from here, that's also good because it's a weekly TSM level. All right. So if I can just, is it that on there, or let me just check this properly. That's your new bar. Okay, so that new bar is below that. So that level there is 39.40, which is, yeah, 63.651. 63.651 is up here. It's a good thing we double checked. 63.651. There we go. All right. So that zone is a sandwich zone. That's a sell zone. Okay. And if that level sells, pushing down is fine. What is that? 41. 44. 44 is 63.319. So 63.319 is going to be here. All right, so this is your kill zone. Pretty much previous day high and that TSM level. If the market goes up, we're in the sandwich zone. If we break above that, then obviously you don't want to be standing in front of it trying to sell it, because that's the last target. This is the first support, 35. 62, what is it? 62.569. Which is just there. 62.569, which is still same zone, but that's on a daily. All right, so resistance on the weekly, last target on the daily, support on the daily, and the weekly's first target is 36, I think that is. And that's 61.576. And if I do this as well, that's going to be about right. 61. First target down, which is way below that. 61. And that'll take us into 29. 61.645. That's that. And on the weekly, like I said, we've got that 30 odd and that 36, which is the 61 zone. So we'll put a line there as well. All right, so this is how we're going to target ourselves down. So if we do go through that shock day, we should be pushing into those zones. All right, and if the market does come down, it should go into Thursday. If we break above this zone, then we should go up into Thursday, shouldn't we? Okay, being careful on a Wednesday with the statements that CycleEdge is giving us. All right, intraday CycleEdge is extreme range. So here the market could do a fail breakout and reversal. Okay, so it could be a pump and dump or dump and pump day on Wednesday, and that's fine. If we have a Monday, Tuesday shock day, pumping or dumping, then we can just coil and do the reversal. So this is your Bitcoin, and all you have to do is just follow the CycleEdge report and the trade days, swing days with the hours, and that's it. Okay, so Hope this is a good example. Make sure you get your levels right. Like I said, the software is already out, so I've pretty much done all the software as well, the indicators that is. So all you have to do, if you want to use them, you don't have to. If you want to use them, you can. If you don't, just use your CycleEdge report for the days, hours, and look out for those traps and special events within the day so you can match your technical analysis to the time and day. That's all you have to do. Time, day, and your technical analysis setup. When they come together, it's a high likely bingo trade. Have a good week.